A black man was shot in the stomach by police after merely pushing a white officer. The officer stood motionless at the scene. Because the victim was black, he did not call an ambulance. Instead, he searched the man's body and, ignoring his partner's objections, forcibly handcuffed him, though the man had already stopped breathing. The incident generated widespread media coverage and outrage. However, the officer came from an influential family and bribed the other officers on duty that day to claim that the black man had drawn a gun first, forcing them to open fire in self-defense. As a result, the officer was acquitted. The victim's younger brother, witnessing the officer's arrogance, lost patience and shot the officer dead in the street. Upon learning of his colleague's death, the white officer began searching for black individuals to confront. That day, two black men came under surveillance by white police officers. One of them claimed to be a police officer himself, but the officers refused to believe him. The older black man tried to walk to his vehicle to retrieve his credentials, but the officer misinterpreted this as an attempt to flee and immediately drew his gun. The shot disabled the man's ability to move. Left with no choice, the black man fired back, and the officer collapsed. Following the incident, both men were taken to the hospital for emergency treatment. Fortunately, the older man was not hit in a vital area, while the officer, struck in the heart, could not be saved. The officer's father subsequently rushed to the police station and created a scene. Fortunately, the chief, a man of integrity, stated that the matter required investigation. The father, at a loss for words, turned and left in anger. After being discharged, the older black man submitted to investigation and recounted the events truthfully. However, another officer present at the scene gave false testimony. Because his previous partner had been killed by a black man, and his current partner had now also been killed by a black man's hand, he harbored intense hatred toward black people. He falsely claimed that the older man had failed to identify himself, maliciously alleged that the older man had fired first, and insisted that his partner had only returned fire in response.